Alright, welcome back to Pre-Algebra. We are going to talk about section 1.2, powers and exponents. But I realized there was something I didn't tell you last time that I need to stress. Is the way all public school books work, and this is an old public school book, is that the first chapter, they kind of have to assume that you know something, and they might assume something you don't know, and you might get panicky about it. You don't need to. I'm going to teach this like these things are review and that you've seen them before, but then we're going to talk about them later in more detail. So if you don't understand something, send me a text message and I can explain it further, but I'm sort of going to go quickly this first chapter, and then things are going to slow down. So don't panic that things are going fast now. It's just that they're sort of reviewing ideas that they think you've seen before, but if you haven't, that's okay. You're going to learn it later. We're going to go over it again. All right? Did that calm everybody down? I hope so. All right, so what we're going to talk about is the idea of powers and exponents. So let me show you what this is. Where did my pen go? Here it is. Okay, so this is something that's changed a little bit from when I was in school, back in the dark ages of the 80s. But, okay, so you have this number. Okay, this, back when I was your age, this was called the base, and it still is. The 3 is the base. And this thing had 2 names. It would be called the power, or the power, sounds like a cartoon, or an exponent. So, and they were sort of interchangeable. You could say 3 to the 2nd power, or you could say 3 raised to the exponent of 2. It was the same thing. Now they've changed that a little bit. This is still the base, this is the exponent, and they say the whole thing is a power expression. But that's these books. I don't know if this is universally adopted or not. But, so I'll use them interchangeably. I'll call that the power or the exponent. Okay, and it goes back to order of operations. The little expression to help you remember that is different depending on if you call it a power or an exponent. Okay, let's go back to this one. 3 to the 2nd power. What does that mean? It does not mean 3 times 2. No. It means 2 3's multiplied together. So 3 times 3 is 9. So this tells you how many times you multiply the base times itself. What if you had x to the 3rd power? That's fancy. Then it would be x times x times x. X to the 3rd power. So what kids will do wrong is they'll do 3 times 2 is 6, and the answer is not 6, it's 9. It's not 3 times 2, it's 3 times itself 2 times. Alright, so look in your book. First one they have that they show us is 5 to the third power. So what is 5 to the 3rd power? It's 5 times 5 times 5. And how I do these if I'm not using a calculator is I do carets. 5 times 5 is 25. And then I draw an arrow. 25 times 5 is 125. Now, I did that in my head, but I don't expect you to be able to do it in your head. I want you to be able to do this on your calculator. So this is one of those times I want you to pause the video and figure out on your calculator how to do 5 to the 3rd power. On this calculator, the TI-84, how you do it is you put in 5, you push the 5 button, that one, and then there's this little button that looks like it's got a house on it. That's putting your cursor up in exponent land. So you push the up arrow and then the number 3, and it looks like that on the screen. Then you hit enter, and it should say 125. So I want everybody to figure out on your calculator how to do 5 to the 3rd power and get 125. I want you to pause it and come back once you've done that. And if your calculator can't do it, you need to get a different calculator. Because for this class, you're going to need to be able to do exponents more than just squared. All right. So go away, come back. Oh, you're back. So good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. All right, so now look in your book and let's look at some more things, okay? They did 13 to the fourth power, which is just 13 times itself 4 times. You could even have 0.2, and they would probably put that in parentheses, usually, to the third power, so that's equal to 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. And remember I told you I wanted you to find the parentheses on your calculator, and you can put it in and see what it equals. You can multiply them times each other, okay? And remember, we've already talked about that you can do this with the letters. On page 10, they also have n to the 6th power, n times itself 6 times, and t times itself 5 times, t to the 5th power, okay? All right, in math, what makes math hard is not the numbers, it's the letters, it's the words, it's the English. And knowing what they want you to do is a big mystery. And if they say evaluate and write this, here we have x to the 4th power, and they say evaluate when x equals 0.5. Okay? So what that means, it means we're going to substitute 0.5 for x, and then we're going to put it to the 4th power on our calculator and see what that equals. And you should get 0.06, did it say 25? Yes, 25. And I want you to put a box around your final answer. That way I know that that's what you consider to be the answer. Now, you're going to have homework, and I'm going to give you the odd problems, and you're going to look in the back of the book and check your homework. So you're going to be checking your homework. If you get one wrong, I want you to try to figure it out and see if you can get the right answer, and then text me if you can't, and I'll help you work through it. All right? Let's go on. Let's try another one. Okay? We have an ice sculpture that says the artist uses a cube-shaped block to make an ice sculpture. Find the volume of the block of ice, and it's 20 centimeters on each side. Now, if you have a word problem that has a shape, I want you to draw a picture of the shape first. So here's my cube. That's pretty good. It's 20 on each side. So that means that the width is 20, the length is 20, and the height is 20. By tradition, written in cursive. So that's why you had to learn cursive, right? The volume of a cube equals length times width times height. But since these are all the same, we can say it's the side cubed, which is 20 to the 3rd power. Do it on your calculator and see if you can get 8,000. And let me show you. 2 cubed equals 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Oh, I'm using these terms without telling you. This one and this one have a special name. You can say x to the 2nd power, x to the 3rd power, or it's got a special name. If it's the 2, you call it squared, and if it's 3, you call it cubed. But after that, they don't have special names anymore. That's all the ones with special names. All right, I think that's it for section 1.2. You'll have some homework on it. It's fun because you get to use your calculator. Math is fun.